Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and at the end of this video, I'm going to show you what I think will be a pretty big eye-opener for you. I took Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, and I just did a hypothetical. If you invested $5,000 today at today's prices, and Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP all achieved their all-time highs, which one do you think would leave you with the most amount of money? Well, I'm going to show you because I ran the numbers. And I think it'll be a pretty big eye-opener about where you need to be in terms of if you think that all these digital assets are going off. Okay, first I wanted to show you this. I tweeted this out, The Dollar's Demise, America's Debt Crisis, Helicopter Money. And it's a great article that was written it was on Kitco's website. And I'm going to just take you through really quickly through a few different things. First, they outline how the U.S. is spending trillions in stabilizing the economy, and it's all outlined to show you the crazy amounts of money that are being spent. And then it goes into U.S. debt as a percentage of GDP is near World War II levels, and they've got this chart that kind of shows you where we are. And then it goes into a lesson not learned, and they're talking about Weimar Germany, and these were baskets of cash. That's a basket of cash that they're walking in because the money was worthless. So they had to use baskets of cash to buy a loaf of bread, basically. Talks about helicopter money, and then it talks about who owns the United States debt. And then as we go down here, it says Wall Street's addiction to cheap cash, the buybacks, chasing returns. But there was the highlighted part down here is what I wanted. They're talking about how the Fed will do whatever it takes for as long as it takes. This is the part I wanted you to hear. The government has pushed a total of $9 trillion into the economy so far, and will likely spend trillions more if we are only halfway through this mess. It's a conservative bet to say that at least another $9 trillion in government stimulus is on the way. That would be almost 20 trillion, nearly equivalent to America's annual GDP. That level of state, this is the part that's profound, folks. Listen, that level of state involvement in the economy is unprecedented outside of the former Soviet states. What happens when access to the government equals economic success? I'll say that again. What happens when access to the government equals economic success? Well, when I read that, what I'm reminded of, when the lights went off for me about how the United States economy was not what it was when I was growing up, it was the financial crisis. And I'll never forget when I was watching one of those movies after the financial crisis, when they were talking about what I spoke about the other day. Warren Buffett is on a phone call with Hank Paulson, and he's basically told, we need you to bail out Goldman Sachs. But don't worry, the federal government's going to back up your investment. Now, what do you call that? And I'll read this again. What happens when access to the government equals economic success? That's a creepy notion right there. Now, back to what the gist of this article is about is what they're doing and how crazy it all is. And the only answers, folks, the only answers are gold and crypto. Gold, precious metals, silver, and crypto. Anybody with a half a brain can figure that out. I want to play you a couple of things that'll reinforce this. Now, they're talking about Bitcoin, but look, when you hear Bitcoin, think XRP, because you're going to have a handful of winners, and Bitcoin and XRP are going to be two of those winners. Bitcoin for much different reasons than XRP. But listen to this.
With the price of Bitcoin breaking through $11,000, a lot of people are asking themselves, is this upward movement sustainable? And the answer is yes. People are looking at Bitcoin as a multi-asset function. They're looking at it as a safe haven. They're looking at it as an inflation play, and they're trying to protect themselves from whatever central bank that they affiliate themselves with, the devaluation of the underlying currency, like what we're seeing in the dollar index. The dollar has been down 6 weeks in a row. People are looking at a protection play, and everything from lumber to copper to sugar to Bitcoin have all rallied substantially over the past quarter.
That's sponsored by the CME Group, which is an investor in Ripple, by the way. Now, I saw a fascinating piece from this guy on the streets in China. And I want you to watch what he says. This is pretty wild right here. Watch this.
All right, guys, this is crazy. I'm here in Chinatown, Bangkok, and this is what I have been talking about for the last few years. The economic crisis is imminent right now, and people are FOMOing into gold, silver, and Bitcoin. I have the proof for you right now. Check this out. I am here in Chinatown, Bangkok, and we have hundreds of people standing in a line here at this gold shop. Another 100 people inside buying gold right now. Gold is at an all-time high. Look at this on the other side, the exact same gold store with hundreds of people once again. The whole city is full of people rushing to gold stores. And the same thing is happening for silver right now, and the same thing is happening on exchanges for Bitcoin. I think the all-time high for Bitcoin is also imminent right now. We will most probably see it this year. Let me know down below in the comments down below, and also smash up the little heart if you think we can hit the all-time high for Bitcoin as well. The FOMO is real. The crisis is real, guys. Share this video with your friends. Bye-bye.
All right. And that is why I keep talking about this, folks, in the economy that we're in, this disaster that we're in. Many of you are being laid off. If you've been laid off, it's very simple. Do what I did. I opened a Roth IRA with iTrustCapital. And the reason is this. If you're laid off and you need to roll a 401k, and you don't have to have a 401k, but if you have one you need to roll, you can roll it into an iTrustCapital IRA. And when you do that, you can invest in crypto, XRP, Bitcoin, and gold. They have gold on the blockchain that you can invest in. So they're not able to sell more than there actually is. And it's, stored, I think, in the Royal Canadian Mint. But, there's a link in the description of all my videos where you can check that out. Now, next piece of news, and I've got a coupon code where you can get 1 month off with those guys. Then there was this article, 20 institutional Bitcoin investors revealed, but soon the list may vanish. Now, there was an interesting part of this article. I just took this out, is that the Rothschild Investment Corporation is one of the investors. And I was saying, well, that would explain a lot, because we keep seeing this Bitcoin narrative pushed, even though everybody knows proof of work doesn't work. So if you've got enough powerful families and money behind that narrative, or invested in that narrative, you can see why it keeps getting pushed. All right. Michael at VAL5 Links sent me this. This is an awesome thread right here from Mickey B. Fresh. Recently released interview of Craig Phillips from CFTC breaking down Executive Order 13772 ordering Treasury Department to research non-bank fintechs. Craig Phillips is now on Ripple's board of directors after speaking with 232 industry stakeholders at Treasury. Why did he choose Ripple? So this is from 2018, but apparently they just released this. This is Craig Phillips, managing director. He was managing director at BlackRock, go figure, prior to being senior advisor to Steve Mnuchin at the Treasury Department.
Very special guest from the U.S. Treasury Department. Joining us today is Counselor to the Secretary of the U.S. Department of Treasury, Craig Phillips. Mr. Phillips joined the Treasury in January of 2017 and assists the Secretary in a wide range of matters, including domestic finance, domestic financial institution policy, housing finance, and regulatory reform. From 2008 to 2017, Mr. Phillips served as a managing director and member of the Global Operating Committee of BlackRock, Inc. Mr. Phillips was the global head of the Financial Markets Advisory Group in BlackRock Solutions, which provided analytical and risk consulting services to a wide range of private and public sector organizations globally. He has been instrumental in many issues at the Treasury, but one of the areas that doesn't get enough attention is the work on the regulatory reform being done under his watch. To that end, there are several reports out from...
Okay, and then here's another part that he got. This is great. He dug this up.
This report, issued just last month in July 2018, covers non-bank financials, fintech, and innovation. For the fintech report, we met with or received submissions from over 232 parties that shows just how broad-based this topic is. We personally believe that it was impossible to truly understand the impact of regulation and the potential for alternative approaches without engaging extensively with market participants, which we've done throughout the series. The final report has over 81 discrete recommendations, all of which we think are focused on in improving the financial economy as per the core principles.
Well, let's take a step back here.
This report.
Okay, and then there's a couple more clips. Listen to this.
Treasury supports the OCC's effort to launch a special purpose national bank charter for fintechs. We also recommend efforts to harmonize state regulations through better coordination. This could take the form of a model law, for instance. Another example of coordination are efforts around the nationwide multi-state licensing system to reduce duplicative regulatory requirements and promote greater information sharing and coordination.
All right, and then the last clip is right here.
And finally, the key is the level playing field. Treasury believes that the level playing field is very, very important. So companies offering similar services should be subject to similar regulatory treatment for those services across level playing field. Treasury believes that the level playing field is very, very important. So companies offering similar services should be subject to similar regulatory treatment for those services across the economy, regardless of the form of the company.
Great point.
Okay. And then, of course, Craig Phillips joins Ripple Board of Directors. This is the article. I want to see what the date was on that. So 2019, this is after he's talking about all that, is when he joins the Ripple Board of Directors. So great stuff there from, and there's other articles here, but great stuff from, Mickey B. Fresh. All right. Michelle Vandenberg sent me this from XRP Crypto Wolf. XRP Ledger Daily, new accounts volume up 291% since July. Over 6,000 XRP accounts were activated during the first 3 days of August compared to only 700 to 800 new XRP accounts activated on July 1 to July 3rd, I guess. On August 1 to the 2nd, a total of 1,321,000 XRP transactions were processed in 24 hours. Wow. Okay. Just randomly this morning, I was just thinking about Bob Way. For those of you who haven't been around, Bob Way was a guy who was, I believe, one of the first 10 Ripple employees who popped up on Twitter and popped up talking about XRP and interacting with everyone about a year or so ago, I think it was. And then he disappeared. Well, this was one of the things that he said back then that I always thought was pretty wild. Several people left fancy jobs and joined Ripple because, I paraphrase, if we capture even a minor fraction of the international payments market, do you know the value XRP will need to have to support that? Do the math. Really, really big trade number. 100 billion XRP equals wow. Now, something else that Bob Way said. He said, so it's clear there's a trade-off with XRP. You might become perpetually rich. Perpetually rich. I like that phrase. But don't expect that others won't become annoyed that you have done so. I think that's probably pretty true. Now, what I told you about at the beginning of this video, what would happen if you invested $5,000 today at today's prices, which are these, in Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, 5,000 in Bitcoin, and then it went to its all-time high price of 20,089. Ethereum's all-time high, this is all-time high price. Ethereum's all-time high price was 1,432, and XRP's all-time high price was $3.84. Well, here's what would happen. That same $5,000 invested today when Bitcoin hits its high would be $8,540. In Ethereum, $18,358. But XRP would be $66,206. Does my son need to draw you a picture? One was looking at this article today, and I wanted to remind you all, online safety about VPNs. And they were saying here, while we are using computers and digital services, But anyway, it was talking about the current events. A virtual private network can link the user to an overseas server. In the UK, for example, click here for an example, a VPN is especially important during times of quarantine and social distancing during the current events. In fact, according to this CNET piece, the demand for commercial VPNs is surging following work from home trends. VPN providers and ISPs are struggling to handle a huge increase in internet traffic around the world. Even before the current events, VPN use was already projected to grow exponentially. They're still doing, I've got this in the description of my videos, they're still doing the 7-day trial for 99 cents, pure VPN. I have a VPN myself, and so I recommend it lets you surf the web anonymously, so you don't have to worry about hackers finding out where you are. Okay. It's a must. There's not anybody that's listening to my voice. If you're on the internet, you need to have one, and it protects not just your computer, but your phones too, and your iPads. Okay. And I wanted to remind everybody my newsletter, I'm at almost 1,000 subscribers now on the newsletter. This newsletter every month, I'm going to send you an email that tells you what I'm in right now, what I'm interested in as far as digital assets or any other investments, whether it's gold, silver, equity, whatever, anything sticking to the theme of precious metals and crypto and blockchain companies and that type of thing. Okay. And finally, I wanted to show you this quote: invest in your dreams, grind now, shine later. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that our time is now. Thanks for listening.